family. Literally just snagged my nail before I got on here. I love me some acrylics, but they are not good for my nails. What am I going to do? I don't want to be about the press on life, but I may have to be. Because restoring my nails after acrylics is not the business. Anyway, how are we doing, family? How are we? Oh, God. Y'all must be going in on Porsha and Dennis, because I see Black Lavender. They don't need to be together at all. Hey, guys. Princess Bright said, hey, girl, hey. Hey, Chocolate Capricorn. How are you? How are you? Guys, we are really not going to be here long for this because let me look at my notes. How many notes do I have for Atlanta? I have 6 notes. We're not going to be here long. We are not going to be here long. What's up, Chocolate Buddy? This is a dry episode. I think for me, it was dry because most of it was about, what's her name? It's not Tanya. It's not Porsha. It's not Kenya. Cynthia. It was about Cynthia's wedding, and y'all know how I feel about that wedding. The same as Wendy Williams, apparently. So I just did not have a lot to say, but we're going to talk about something. So without further ado, let's get into it. Come on in the room. Come on. Come on in the room. I have changed the melody of this so many times. I don't even know what the original is anymore. Oh, it's a little slower. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? What's up, Priscilla? Come on in the room. Oh, what I'm drinking is, I'm drinking my green drink again, the Suja. This is green apple, celery, kale, and I think pineapple. Yeah, I think pineapple. That's what I'm drinking. What are you guys? Oh, don't let it drop, girl. What are you guys drinking? Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Hey, Tasha Rose. We got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? What's up, Tetris? Come on in the room. Hey, Advice Queen. Come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about because Vodka with 3 Olives is here. And you know, when it's a Housewives review, Vodka with 3 Olives will always be here. Thank you, baby, for always being dedicated to the brand. Come on in the room. Come on. What's up, Tracy? Tracy! Come on in the room. This is by Tracy. We got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. I said we got not a lot. We really don't have a lot to talk about. But won't you come on in the room? Thank you, Tracy, for my shirt, which says, come on in the room. These are actually not the NikkiStar TV shirts that I'm bringing out in the next few weeks. But Tracy has her own business. I tagged it in my last video. I'll tag it in this one, where she makes all of these really fun shirts. Please go support our NikkiStar TV family. Thank you again so much, Tracy. Oh, Black Lavender said, I'm so glad that wedding is finally over. Me too. It dragged on for so, and you know what's so sad? No shade, Cynthia, because listen, let me just get the review started, because I'm already talking about it. Oh, child. Anyway, if you're just here for the review, beloveds, it starts right now. So, like I was saying, I like Cynthia and Mike. You guys know, I think like a year and a half ago, I was on Mike's show on Fox Soul, and it was talking about, what was it for? Young, Gifted, and Black or something like that. And I was, representing the new media part of the Young, Gifted, and Black portion. And I met Mike. He's a great guy. He really loves her. He was like, the way he talks about her, he beams. talking about Cynthia. I think they're a great couple. I think that this was a very dumb decision, especially to do not only as a Black person, but as a Black person on a huge platform. I can't get over how irresponsible this wedding was. And I'm just really disappointed that that this was done by people that I, outside of TV really enjoy. Um, Black Lavender said, "Count me in for the chat." So I was just really disappointed in that. So I'm briefly going to talk about the wedding. Not a lot of positive things to say. And you guys know, like, if I can't like make a joke of it or have some fun with it, I just rather not say it, because this channel is pure fun and joy. Like, I only talk about stuff we can have fun talking about. And even if it gets a little serious, it's still like, an overall fun mood. But this wedding, I can't. I just think the wedding was irresponsible. And I will say, when Kenya said that the people who were saying, one being Wendy Williams, that were saying that the wedding was like irresponsible, like there are a lot of bloggers and Wendy Williams again blasting Cynthia for having this wedding. Guys, this 350 people wedding in the midst of like the severity of the pandemic, in a place that is mainly Black, like the population is a mainly Black population. You're bringing people from all over for this wedding in an area where not only do they suffer from medical racism, they suffer from incompetent leadership within their governor, who will not bring in the necessary precautions to save, the people. I feel like I got a piece of hair. Like, what is this? To help save the people in that area. And I was just like, you're literally having a super spreader event, and you want everybody to be supportive of that. And then for Kenya to call the people who have an issue with her holding this wedding, this 350 people wedding, and it would have been larger, but a lot of people canceled because they care about society and the lives of the people who they love. To call those people judgmental was just so rude and tone deaf. It's like, you should be upset. You should not be going. You, as her friends, should have said something. You know what I mean? I get that her fiance could not even talk her out of it, but it was just completely irresponsible. Atlanta had, like, I think third of the most deaths, casualties to COVID than any other place. Yes, Cali had more. Cali is a lot bigger than Atlanta, right? Cali, first of all, is a whole freaking state. You know what I mean? So it's a lot bigger than Atlanta. There's no way their numbers should be that close. And their numbers are extremely close. And I was just like, wow, as a Black woman, you're putting on this event knowing about everything and not caring, because you're so steadfast on this date, which is why I honestly believe that some soothsayer or psychic or, pay for play prophet told her about this date, like made her believe that this date she has to be married on this date, and she has to have this grandiose event. And I think that's why she went through with it. She wouldn't say on the show, but she was just so focused on this date. The wedding couldn't happen any other day. And I just feel like there's some other reason that she's just not expressing to us, the viewers, why she did it this day. If the show that you are on thinks that this wedding is irresponsible to the point where they wouldn't even film it, guys, the footage that we saw on this on last night's episode was from Cynthia. The show did not film anything from there. They thought it was irresponsible, so they were not even a part of it. The audio, all of that stuff that they got was from Cynthia's wedding. From Cynthia. She filmed, shot all of that, did the audio and everything, and handed that over to the show. Of course, she got paid for the footage. Smart, right? But if the show that you are on that is paying your bills think that this wedding is so irresponsible that they won't even be a part of it, and I know you're just like, oh no, this happened. I'm telling you right now, I know from the person who did this that they did not film this wedding. This is all Cynthia. Everything. The only thing that they did film was with the cast outside of the wedding. What is it? the wedding dinner venue. They did that stuff, but the wedding, they were not there. The show was not involved. One, because they think it's irresponsible, right? But let's be quite honest with you. If anybody at that wedding, if anything happened to them, the show would be responsible. They're not messing up their insurance for this wedding. That probably should not have happened. So y'all know my feelings about it. And I'm gonna move on because I do like Mike and Cynthia as people outside of this show, but this was just so stupid. This was so stupid, and it's just like you're on TV complaining. You're just like, oh, this isn't happening, and this isn't happening. Oh, my mom's dress wouldn't be here. None of this would be happening if you wasn't having a wedding in a pandemic, in a freaking hot spot of the pandemic. Am I the only one that cares about medical racism? Is it just me? Because we don't get the same kind of help. They're literally letting us die in freaking parking lots. We are not going to get the same care as other people. I'm sorry, as Black people, as other people who have this issue, which is why we are dying in, larger numbers than anybody else. It's not because we don't have a healthy immune system. It's not because we can't fight it like everybody else. It's not because our bodies are faulty. It's because of medical racism. You're having a super spreader event, 350 people at this wedding. And it would have been more if people had not canceled. And you were sitting up there saying, oh, I can't believe that Wendy Williams is talking about me. Oh, and the people that are talking about this wedding are judgmental. Congratulations. I will say something nice, though. Cynthia looks stunning. But who's shocked by that, right? That's why Cynthia is on this show, because she's beautiful. She slays all the time. She is always a model. And in and out of season, she always looks stunning. So I wasn't shocked, but I will say that her dress looked absolutely gorgeous. And I just got to say this because I thought about it. Where the hell were the masks at this wedding? I'm telling you, somebody at that wedding or somebody's at that wedding spread COVID to somebody. We're not going, because even Cynthia said, she said, I encouraged everybody to get tested, but I can't make these people do something that they don't want to do. Let me move on. Let's get into, oh, you know what? There's one more thing that I do want to talk about. I want to talk about Eva's mic. So Eva, I don't know why I guess Eva was mic'd because she was a part of the wedding party. Maybe that's why she was mic'd. I'm not sure, but for some reason she was mic'd and she was talking to somebody who was talking about what happened with the girls in Bolo and all the dude that Eva was talking to, all he wanted to know about was Bolo's penis. He did not care. Eva wanted to talk about everything else, but he was just like, let's talk about something. That's all he cared about. But Eva, I'm guessing that somebody told her what happened at the event. At the Cynthia's bachelorette party. And I'm telling you, I think that the somebodies who told her are Cynthia and Candy. I think that, not Cynthia, Kenya and Candy. I think they told Eva. I think at this point, Tanya and Porsha just need to, whatever people say, let it go. I think y'all need to stop getting upset and stop reacting to it, because at this point, everybody just believes that y'all had sex. But a lot of us don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're grown. You can do whatever you want with your body. A lot of us are not going to shame you, but the more that you react to it gives the people who are spreading this rumor about you who do not like you energy. So it's best that you just leave it alone and not say anything. But I honestly believe that Eva got all of those details from Kenya and Candy. I really, really do. And this is why I think that Candy was one of the people who was spilling the tea. Because even at the rehearsal dinner, Kenya sits down with Candy and she says, thank you for defending me. And, at least, letting people know that everything that I'm saying is not a lie. And Candy's just like, well, what you talking about? No, I don't want to be involved. No, I don't want to be. Candy, but you say that, right? And you also say, make sure that everything that happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon, but you are the main person taking things back from the dungeon and telling everybody about it. You keep on giving additional information that we did not have, but you're giving this additional information and you're saying, well, I ain't gonna say this, but y'all was on the coffee table. Like, I ain't gonna say this, but we did hear something coming from the room. I ain't gonna say this. No, we're not gonna talk about it, but there was some screaming. You are the one who keeps on spreading it. Dare I say you're spreading this rumor more than Kenya. But Kandi don't get the same heat because Kenya is the villain of the show. But Kandi has been one of the main people spreading this rumor about the dungeon. And I'm going to say, sis, the way you were flipping out when there was a rumor about you in the dungeon, not quite fair that you're doing the same thing. But are you doing the same thing as a get back, or can you just not hold no tea? Are you the girl nobody should do their dirt around because you gonna tell every and anybody? It's either one of two things. Either you're doing the same thing that I forgot her name, but I loved her on the show, Phaedra and Porsha did to you with that rumor about the dungeon. Is it like a little get back, but you're trying to play coy because y'all done made up? Or can you just not hold anything? Because you are spreading it just as much as Kenya, if not more. The only difference is that Kenya is being like up and like out front and like honest about it and like talking about it and saying like, this is what it is. This is what I'm doing. They don't have my back. Why do I need to have theirs? Kandi is like, no, you shouldn't talk about it. Like, that's not right. Like, no, what happened in the dungeon stayed in the dungeon. Even if Drew was on the coffee table getting her back blown out by Bolo, but it happened in the dungeon. So it's going to stay in the dungeon. Girl. You just as messy, but you're sweet, and we all like you from Escape, so you get away with stuff, Kandi. But you are just as messy as Kenya. Because I'm watching this whole episode, and I'm like, Kandi, it's you. It's you. You are the one telling everything. Every time you talk about it. And the thing is, she talks about it in a way like she's not trying to say anything, but you're saying everything, if not adding more. But you're going to play coy at that reunion. Now, I was just trying to protect. I was trying to protect everybody there. It was Kenya who was saying everything. But Kenya is not going to come back at you. Because like I said before, Kandi is not a friend that Kenya wants to, needs to, or can lose. She don't want to get rid of her. So she don't want to have no beef with Kandi because she know who she is in and outside of this show. So at the reunion, Kandi's going to put on that on Kenya, and Kenya going to eat it. But Kenya, you have every right to go back at her and be like, oh no, we was both doing it. It was me and you, but she won't. She won't, because that's one person she will never go after on that show. But Kandi, it's you. It's you. You're telling everybody not to say nothing about the dungeon, but you giving dissertations to every and anybody who would listen to you about the dungeon. Kenya is definitely the villain, but Kandi is definitely messy. She the new bone carrier. Kandi, you are the new bone carrier, but she's sweet, so we don't call her on it, but we got to. We have to. So that's the only thing that I want to say about that, because I honestly feel like Eva got all that from Kenya and Kandi. Because you weren't there. So how do you have all this? How do you have all this tea about people going down on each other and all this? Kenya and Kandi. Because those are the only two that I know that have been doing all of this talking. Let's get into the nieces party. So now we have, I feel like the nieces party, for how seasons are structured, is for me show the beginning, or not the beginning. It's showing where the lines are being drawn in the sand and where this war with Porsha and Kenya for the rest of the season is starting. Because now Porsha, I think it was last episode, Kenya was demanding Latoya to draw a line, right? And now we have Porsha not demanding, but your behavior and how you are treating Marlo it appears as if you are demanding loyalty and for her to draw the line in the sand. And because she's not drawing that line in the sand with you and Kenya, you have pushed her over there. So now you don't mess with her anymore. So now lines are being drawn, and now the war is about to start, because in each and every confessional that these two have, Porsha and Kenya have, every episode, it's getting heated and heated and heated till it all boils down to a nasty reunion. Child, that reunion gonna be nasty. that reunion is going to be nasty. And Tanya, I feel like you need to show up and say your piece. I don't know if you will. I don't know if the check is worth it. I don't even think you really need it, but I would love for you to show up and, give your side of the story. But who knows if that's going to happen. Anyway, at this niece's party, for me, Drew and Toya just really showed up, right? I want to see them not only on next season. I want for these two to be staples on this show. Here is why I think that. They are the perfect frenemies. The perfect frenemies. They will fight, they will get into it, and then within the same episode, they will end it. They will give us battling content and then make up, and then we move on to something else, and they will fight there again and make up again, but they will always give us a show. These two, if we get rid of everybody else, these two need to stay, because not only are they really good frenemies, they also know how to make up and move on. We have all said that with this show, the one thing that bothers us is that they drag on their beef for so long. We have gotten over it. Why is beef from season 9 still on this season? Like, I get that this is a portion of your real lives, but it's also a TV show and it's entertainment. Y'all are here to entertain us. If we got over that dry beef that y'all had on season 9, why are we still dealing with it now? We weren't interested then. We're not interested now. These two will have a beef and it move on to something else, and it'll be a new beef, but then we'll get something different from them. It's always new and exciting content from Latoya and Drew, and I love it. Because at the beginning of this party, first of all, everybody was confused at the niece's party. Because at the beginning of the party, they were making up, they were, hey girl, hugging each other, you know what I mean? And Drew was like, I match energy. So wherever you are, I will meet you there. And they're just having a good time. Latoya is really hurt by that comment that Drew said about her not respecting marriage or, really caring about marriage. How I know this is because Latoya brings it up every time. Even when they're at a time of peace, she will bring it up. She will bring up the fact that she said something about her marriage and the fact that she said that she is always drinking. Latoya feels some sort of way about that because she will never let those things go. Even if Drew apologized or after she has apologized and they have agreed to move on, Latoya will come back two episodes later and be like, you said that you never have seen me sober. And Drew was always like, we're back here again. So she's never going to let that go. And she's never going to let the marriage thing go, right? So this comment comes up about what Drew said about Latoya. And then Latoya starts throwing out about her terrible marriage. And then Drew was like, I have a great marriage. And she's jumping up and getting Latoya's face. And then Latoya is jumping up. And then the next thing you know, Drew and Latoya are both sitting back on the couch. And Drew is just like, are we done? And Latoya's like, so I'm like, y'all just fought and made up in 5 minutes. I love them. I love their dynamic. They need to be staples. Because if they can do this, give us this quick scene and get out and move on to something else, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. But this was also where I just can't. I disagree and I agree with Porsha. Here is why, right? I disagree that you should be trying to make Marlo pick who she gonna rock with, especially when y'all are damn near 40 or well in your 40s. Like, really, we still doing this, right? But then I understand not wanting to rock with somebody who is starting to rock with somebody that not only doesn't like you, but is actively trying to get at you. I get that, right? But if Marlo has given you her decision and Marlo has said, you can't dictate who I'm friends with, I'm not saying dead y'all relationship, but don't make it to a point where, like, pull back from her, but don't make it to a point where it's like you're giving her this energy where you're making her feel like she has to choose, and then saying in your confessional, well, I'll just keep you over there then. It's like, I just feel like you're all are a little too grown to be like, you can't be my friend if you are her friend. You can ease up off of her, but to like just give her the cold shoulder like you're 14 because she's talking to somebody you don't like. I don't know. Like, I get where she's coming from, but I just disagree with the manner and how actively, like how active she is at doing it with like showing Marlo and making her feel like y'all are not the friends that y'all used to be, because she even said, my friendship with you hasn't changed. I'm not, and I hate the fact that she always has to explain, well, I'm still blocked. I still have her blocked. I'm not that close with her. And she always has to do this to show her, prove her loyalty to Porsha as a friend. And I'm just like, if y'all been friends all this long, why would her befriending Kenya change that? Then maybe you guys weren't so close. But again, I understand her feeling some way about Marlo not liking Kenya, but it's about Marlo befriending Kenya, who does not like her. But I just feel like she just got cold on her so quick. Was there really a friendship, or are y'all just like coworkers? Maybe Marlo thinks y'all friends and you just consider her to be a coworker. So who knows about that situation? But I agree and I disagree with Porsha. Like, I get it, but I don't. You feel me? I also feel like this beef is that deep to, just end the friendship that you had for so long, if this was a friendship. But I think because of Porsha's behavior, because of Kenya's behavior, this war is going to get ugly, guys. It's going to get ugly. And unlike Drew and Latoya, it's going to drag into the next season if they all come back. And I just am not interested in that, because they do this all the time. They drag on beefs that we never cared about. It's for me that their beefs just go on far too long, and they're never that important. And it makes me feel like y'all really don't have anything going on. So you're pulling from last season. If you really don't have anything to show us this season, maybe you need to sit this season out. But they're not going, pass up a check. So they're just going to drag stuff. But I need the show. I need Bravo to look at what Drew and Latoya are doing and focus on that and start to build your show around that, because that's more interesting to me than broads who have been fighting on TV for years and have come to no resolution other than they just hate each other. Okay, well, you can't put that down and just show up to work. If you can't do that, let's cast some new broads who will bring it. The last thing I want to talk about is Porsha having her sit down dinner with Dennis. My only note is hang it up, flat screen. Like, they make up to break up. That's all they do. That's all they do. They make up every season and then they break up every season. It's toxic. It is not healthy. Y'all keep on saying y'all doing that for PJ, but PJ should never, I don't think it's healthy for PJ to see her parents making up and breaking up all the time. It's showing her inconsistency in your relationship. Be consistent by being just great co-parents and move on from there. Because y'all too, I think they're trying to make it work for her. And I do think there's some love and care there. I just don't think they like each other anymore. I really, really don't. I think that, and no shade, Porsha, it happens with every woman while, especially when we get to mid to late 30s. You start to want to have a baby. And sometimes you try to make it work with that guy that you were with at that time. And then after you have your child, you're no longer invested. You're just like, I didn't really, really like you, but I wanted the baby at that time. And you gave me what I needed. Thank you so much. Let's be great co-parents. I don't think there's anything wrong with, you don't have to admit that to us. Admit it to yourself and move forward. You got your baby. You have your success. You don't have to make it work with him because he's your child's father. You really, really don't. And I think we have to erase that idea in society. But I think a lot of this comes from church, that you have to have this family from the same person that you created children with. There's nothing wrong with a blended family. A blended family to me is still a family. You know what I mean? There are people out there who have family that don't even have their same blood. You know what I mean? Like the LGBT community, they make houses out of their friendships that they have formed, and certain people take roles within that because a lot of them have been abandoned by their families or kicked out of their family. So I think we just really have to erase this idea of this is what a family is, because that's not true. And I think Porsha is trying to make this thing work with this man that you just really got pregnant by at the time that you wanted to have a baby, because for you believe that time was running out. No shade, it happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. Move forward. Move forward. Y'all don't like each other. There's love there, but you two do not like each other. So no reason for y'all to be in a relationship and being miserable for PJ, and she's miserable because her parents are miserable. Let it go. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about with this review. If you were just, if you are just here for the review, beloveds, it ends right now. Let's get into the chit chatter. Porsha, there's probably, the perfect partner out there for you is probably a woman. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. It's not working with these men. It's not working with these men. Open up, because it seems like that's probably where you want to go, but can't because of other reasons. I understand. I'm Black and I'm Christian. I get it. But it seems like the perfect partner out there for you is a woman. And I don't want to say what the perfect partner is for Dennis. Probably a Doberman. Let me stop playing. Anyway, what are y'all talking about? Life. I also have cayenne in here. Lifestyle, what Abby said. Porsha is immature. I'm glad that Dusty Dennis called her out on they are too old for the back and forth. Yeah, they break up so often like teens. They forget why they even broke up. Because I just feel like they, PJ was the climax of their relationship. That's what I really think it is. Chocolate Capricorn said, Kenya is so classy. Remember when she showed up to a charity function with a thong showing? Her prosthetic manufactured hard shell coconut. Oh my goodness, Chocolate Cap. Is that you, Porsha? Oh, let him go. Hey, Soprano 2. Simply Simone said, side note, Nikki, did you see that your favorite Latino power couple was trying to make it work? Yes, I did. And I am very happy that they are. I think that they were probably having a little moment. And, J-Lo told her publicist that they have broken up, in the heat of the moment, being petty. I think that probably happened, but I hope they do make it work. I really, really do. But I mean, if they're not happy, I want them to move forward. But she did post some video. First of all, J-Lo, the world is different now. So you can't be doing, stuff like this. But she posted a video that had a lot of N-words in it. It was a lot of N-words. And I'm like, is Alex supposed to be the N-word you talking about in this video? It was a lot of N-words and it was a lot of her showing her behind. So I don't know. Alex messed up. That's from how J-Lo was acting. Alex did something. I don't know if the thing that he did was Madison from Southern Charm, which I'm now back to watching again because I need to see how this whole thing unfolds. But I don't know if that's it, but he did something because she acting like a woman scorned. She acting like he messed up. Sippy Simone said, have you heard the rumor about Porsha possibly leaving the show? I have not heard that. I would be shocked if she did. She's a darling. She's a darling. They love her over there. So I'd be shocked if she did. You know what? Vodka with 3 olives. It's just me and you. I don't dislike Shibby as a person. I don't know her. I just really don't think she fits for this show. But I just feel like it's just me and Vodka with 3 olives who thinks that, because there are a lot of people online and a lot of times in here who love her and want her to be a part of the show. I don't get it. I think she's opening up more and being more comfortable on camera. I just don't think she can go as low as this show needs to go. But the way she's being featured, not only on this show, but also off, like she's been featured a lot on Watch What Happens Live and like additional side Bravo shows and on their Twitter. So I'm thinking that maybe she might be on next season full time. Who knows? Maybe the husband is going to ease up a bit, because I think, Shami and her husband, I believe, were on Candy Speak on it. So maybe they're getting comfortable to the idea, and maybe he'll not release her, you know what I mean? Maybe he'll sign off and allow her to, the way I'm saying it, but you know what I mean? Like the rumor is he's not okay with her being on the show full time. So he is okay with her being a friend of the show, but maybe he'll let her be full time. They'll come to an agreement and she could be full time next season. Who knows? But the thing about it is, when you are full time, you have to bring it. You have to bring it. And I'm not sure that she can bring it or would want to. I just don't see it. I don't see it for her on this show. JB says what says the wedding was 250 people and mostly were reality TV stars. Really? Because I know somebody who went there and they said it was 350. Maybe they were wrong, but I know somebody who went there and he said it was packed to capacity. He was just like, you could not even walk anywhere. It was so many people. I was like, I'm glad you had a good time. Yes, J-Lo, Simply Simone, J-Lo in that TikTok. I said, not boomers fighting on TikTok, girl. No. Pretty thankful. I don't want to put that out there. She was not using the N-word. There was the video. It was Salty's song, and it was just like, it was a lot of. Is it Salty? Sweetie. I'm my mother. A Sweetie song, and it was just a lot of N-words. It was talking about a guy missing out, this N-word is missing out, and I'm just like, I just feel like if you are not black, I don't need you posting, putting music over videos that have a lot of N-words in it. Because there is somebody who I follow, just sweet, like her videos are like so adorable, right? And she does like a lot of videos with her son. She's Asian. I think she is Filipino. I believe she's Filipino. And I love a lot of her chef videos. I don't know what happened to her recently, but you cannot play her videos like full volume or like out in public, because like the first thing you hear is like a curse word or the N-word. And I'm like, what? Girl, isn't this a business page? It's like F-U-N-word. And I'm like, you're making a pie. Why do you need this song over this cooking video? Child, I don't know what's going on in the world. I don't know. That would be really, I don't know. I think it would be a wrong move for Porsha to leave the show, because it's just like, what else are you going to do? Like, you have not made other avenues for yourself outside of this show. So what you going to do? I don't think Noelle is pregnant. I just think, women have fupas. Oh, chocolate Capricorn. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know anything about any petition about Kenya. Tracy said everyone sees the Rona 15 and thinks that Noelle is pregnant. She is just eating good during the Rona. Listen, everybody got thick, and everybody was thick at that party. Simply Simone said, can we talk about Kenya in this Native American costume at Fallon's party? You're 50 out here culturally appropriating in 2020. She gonna get dragged for that next episode. And I feel like, guys, I don't feel like this. Listen, I'm just gonna say it. If you're a Kenya stan, don't defend that costume. Like, don't be a stan to a fault. Don't defend that costume. Kenya is lucky that Fallon's costume is so sickening that nobody will really be paying attention to her. It's going to be called out, but I think people are more going to be interested in Fallon, because every time I see that clip and I see Fallon, and I'm like, girl, that's some good work. That's a great costume. Yeah, so was her, Simply Simone, Sweetie, and her. They're both Black and Filipino. Hey, Proshien. Lifestyle with Abby. Oh, I hate Thug Kitchen. I never got into them. Because as soon as I saw it, when they first came out, I was like, there's no way that a Black person would do this. I knew immediately the people behind Thug Kitchen were white. I knew it. Yeah, Prochi, and the review is over. I didn't have much to talk about. I'm about to get off here anyway, because I'm going to hop on and do 90 Day Fiance. Oh, Rocky, you're not a Porsha fan? Vodka said they may let her go, though, and bless me so I don't have to see Pete anymore on my TV. Like I always say this, I don't like to take a check out of any woman's hand, right? Especially when I have my hand out for a check. I think we've come to the end of the road with the ladies on Housewives. I really would not mind them creating a new world around Drew and Latoya. I wouldn't mind, and I don't mean create a world around them where they get to pick who's on the show and they're like the main cast members. I'm saying we need to pick people like them. You know what I mean? I would love like new people on the show. I think we've come to the end of the road with the ladies. We've been on so many journeys with them. And I think they're now all in a really good place and very well off. And I think that's great for them. It's time for them to graduate, not be fired or anything, but graduate. Maybe graduate to a different Bravo show. You know what? Let me stop giving the show ideas because at Bravo, every time I give Bravo an idea, it shows up. But I will. This is the last thing that I'm giving y'all, and after that, y'all got to pay me because I'm still waiting for my 10% for that Bravo summer house show that I gave y'all for the Housewives. You see me, Andy, because I see you. We see each other. But I think they need to have something for the Housewives, the senior Housewives. I'm not talking about an age. I'm talking about a storyline. When we have gotten everything that we can get out of you, there needs to be something to graduate them to so that we can see them outside of this show, being here, but see them in a different light. Maybe graduate them into like family fun content or something like that. Because it's not like we don't want to see them anymore. We just don't want to see them anymore in this capacity. We've seen everything that y'all can give us on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. What else can you do outside of it? Who can cook? You know what I mean? Like, who can we see one of you go at it alone and try to, I don't know. I just feel like they have, like Netflix, they have so much talent and they graduate their talent into different things. You know what I mean? They graduate their talent into movies or series or jumble up casts and still use them. I think that Bravo needs to find something like that to do with all of their great talent instead of just never using them again. I'm sorry, JJ. It just wasn't a lot to talk about. Oh yeah, all natural Brie '09. There's no excuse. I hope nobody like Kenya stands back out of this one. Let her take this. I think that Bianca, I think that Fallon was a rogue. No, Mystique. I think she was Mystique from X-Men. That's what she looked like to me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It looked like Mystique to me. Design. But I could be wrong. For everyone. With Canva, anyone can create, customize, and share a design in just a few clicks. Yeah, that costume was not cute. Baka said, I wouldn't be mad at that. Just have Kenya back. Hold on, I'm watching the clip. No, that's not it. I don't know. I think it was Mystique. I think it was Mystique. Yeah, I think it was Mystique. I could be wrong. If y'all know, let your girl know. Tasha Rose said, I agree. I think we have seen so many ups and downs of the women's lives that it's time to have new people. But that's the thing. I don't think we should be done with them. Graduate them into something else. I just feel like Bravo has all of this talent. Y'all should be actively writing new stuff for them. Like, y'all should have their exit already wrapped, right? Y'all should have their graduation ready. And y'all should at least have like several show ideas to do with your talent when they, graduate out of the show. All that means is more money for you because, you have created a space where the viewers tune in every week to them and they have grown and had relationships with them, or at least that's what it feels like, right? Some of us have been watching these ladies for what, 12 or so years, right? That doesn't mean we don't want to watch them anymore. Maybe we're just sick of them being in this environment. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just like they are the seniors who keep on coming back and hanging around, the freshmen and the sophomores, and it's looking a little sad. Let's have them finally move them to college. Saved by the Bell goes to college. Real Housewives of Atlanta go to college. Let's have something else for them to do. Don't end our relationship just in this portion of our relationship. That's all. I mean, I think that's what they should do, but, who knows? Simply Simone said, did you see the casting call from the production team for Real Housewives of New Jersey? They're scouting new ladies in the area. Yeah, they're going to add a person of color on that show, or two people of color. We might get a Black woman and an Asian woman. I'm not sure, but they need it. Because even with this season, I enjoy watching them. It's like, for me to review it, there has to be something to talk about. The Real Housewives of New Jersey does this to me all the time. They gave me that first great episode with Messy Teresa, and then after that, it was just like, all right, what is there to talk about? I'm not going to set up lights. You know what I mean? Sit down, craft all of these notes and jokes for this show when you're not giving me anything. So yeah, they need to recast that. It's time. The Real Auntie, Porsha said the Real Aunties of Atlanta. I will watch it. I would absolutely watch something with the Real Housewives of Atlanta mothers. I would definitely watch that. Something like that. Tasha Rose said, I agree. If we can clearly see Riley graduating, then these women should graduate too. I'm just saying it's time. It really, really is time. Oh, I hate the Kitchen J girl. I hate it. Cultural appropriation at its finest. Oh, Fallon was Medusa. Yes, yes, yes. And her costume was great. Her costume was great. I like Phaedra. I really, really do. But Phaedra can't come back with this cast. Like, these are two people who I would not mind seeing come back. Phaedra, Nene, and Sheree, right? Phaedra can't come back with this cast because of everything that happened with her and Candy. Excuse me. Nene can't come back because she just burnt this bridge. I mean, everything is repairable because when it comes down to money, Bravo not going to turn down the check, right? Even if the client is difficult. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of difficult people working right now in Hollywood. Nene been difficult, but she was making them a lot of money. At the end of the day, it always comes down to money. She's definitely going to have to humble herself, but she cannot come back as the Nene we've been getting for the past few years. She has to come back as, not saying that Nene was ever humble, but she was enjoyable to watch. Like, she has to come back as pure comedy. She cannot come back with her nose, held up high. She can't come back as snooty. It's just not going to work. She has to come back as fun and comedic. If she cannot do that, it's not going to happen. But those are the only people that I ever thought was like really interesting. Not the only people, but I always thought that they, at any capacity of the timing and seasons of this show, I always felt like they could come back and fit right in. But I just don't know if that's ever going to happen. But Phaedra for me was always Atlanta. Bravo Family Therapy. Chris, okay, don't give them no ideas. You see what they did to me. Me too. Simply Simone said, I want to get to this pastor storyline with Latoya and Drew. Didn't you think this was going to happen last night? I thought that's what we were watching. Oh, Tracy said, how about they take over Watch What Happens Live and switch out the housewives as the host? Andy would never allow it. Guys, Andy gave up shares in Bravo to be the host of Watch What Happens Live. He left the executive board to be a host. This is what he really wants. This is his baby. This is his bread and butter. I don't think that he's going to let that go. And I don't think he's going to let anybody get in that chair and do it better than him. JG said they need to get rid of Teresa. She is holding back the show, talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and it's worse than Vicky. JG, my honest opinion, they need to let Teresa and her whole family tree and everything that comes with it, go. Because the show is basically a Teresa show. Now, if you want to keep Teresa and this dynamic, I think that they should just do like Teresa and girls. You know what I mean? Like it's just all about Teresa going out as a new single woman, raising her daughters who are up and out of the home. Make it a family show like that. But the Real Housewives of New Jersey, you need to give us young, diverse wives. And I'm not saying young in age. I mean like fresh faces, new money, something like that. Because where we're at with the Real Housewives of New Jersey, we're done. Y'all can't. New Jersey and Orange County, Beverly Hills, they all need new life. They all need new life. Beverly Hills, I'm not excited about it coming back. I think that show needs to be completely recast. We have to be done. Even though y'all bringing on Kathy Hilton, I think it's a little too late. I don't think it's going to be enough to save that show. Orange County, Beverly Hills, and New Jersey needs to be recast ASAP. And I'm talking about a full recast. And not saying getting rid of the ladies who are on the show, just move them to something else. But this, right, the Housewives, new blood. New York is going to kill. I think New York, with the new ladies that New York has, I think New York is going to kill. I think New York is going to kill. And I'm excited about that show. I'm really excited about New York coming back, but because I feel like New York can always switch up their dynamic and always keep originals, because originals, the original housewives on the Real Housewives of New York always show up to work. There is never a time I've seen any of them broads dragging their feet. They always show up to work. So they can always mix it up with some new girls and keep the originals. I'll be fine with that. Every other show needs to be completely recast. It's time. Don't touch Potomac and don't touch Salt Lake. Everybody else, we can move on to something else. Priscilla said Phaedra will be able to come back if Candy leaves. She will. Jada Kiss and Candy is another one who I think just needs to be not retired, but graduated into like a Candy show. Candy has several businesses in Atlanta. She has her staff who we have seen who have always been on the show. She has her family. She has her mother. She has her aunt. Candy has her own show. That's where she needs to be graduated to. I think that Kenya would be very good with guest starring on certain Bravo shows throughout that, because I think she's really good with that. I don't think she can hold a show on her own, but like the Housewives vacation summer house thing, she's good for stuff like that. Cynthia, I'm not sure. Maybe Cynthia and Noelle could have a show. I don't know. I'm not sure what she can do. If anything, if I was her, I would move to LA where my husband is and join the cast of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That would be very smart for her to do. We know you already. You're in a different space right now. This is a different animal. We might see something else come out of you because you won't have the protection of the friends that you have made to pull you along through the season. You know what I mean? I think that might be good for her to do. But Candy has her own show. Porsha can have her own show, but it would need to be something where Porsha is like running a business. It would need to be about Porsha and like her hair company or something like that. Who else is on this show? But she can have her own show, but it would need to be about her doing something. It can't just be about her life. It has to be about her running a company or something like that. Who else is on the show? Did I forget? Drew and Latoya need to stay with the Housewives of Atlanta and just build around them. Oh, I'm doing it. Simply Simone, I'm doing a video about that. Simply Simone that said, did you see that the talk is on hiatus after the Sharon incident? Two things are either going to happen with that show. It's going to be on permanent hiatus or Sharon is getting fired. Period. And I should be putting that video up probably. That video should probably go live Tuesday after The Bachelor. Diamond Donna's 2K, glad you're here. Oh, never drink this after you brush your teeth. Oh, Oh, JB says what said the New York ladies are crazy. Basically, they bring it. They show up. They work for that check. Oh, Mary, not only Rhonda Z, not only is Mary going to be back on our screens for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they're going to make her because y'all remember that Mary was a friend of the show and they bumped her up to a main cast member when the production company changed. So that's why we don't see a lot, like we didn't really get a lot of Mary, but I'm telling you right now, season 2, Mary is going to be a huge player in this show on Salt Lake. Oh, Bunny said, see, Bunny, don't do like me. Stop giving Bravo ideas. Bunny said the candy show could be called The Candy Shop, and the intro could have Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg song the way that Snoop song that say "Welcome to the Candy Shop." She could do it. Princess Ray, I still have the Real Housewives of Dallas saved. The only reason why I didn't do it is because I didn't review it. Is two things. One, I don't want to be irked all the time, and I'm really irked by the fact that to battle with the redhead, I think it's Luann, her racism towards Asians, you bring on an Asian person to rectify her folly. That bothered me. Also, I don't think my audience watches that because y'all barely watch New Jersey. You know what I mean? I think because, unfortunately, because I'm Black, a lot of people only come to me for Black shows. Although like not just Black, I'm not saying Black shows, but shows with a mainly Black cast. I feel like the only show that does not have a mainly Black cast that I get support from, a lot of support from, is The Bachelor. I feel like, which is why I try not to always, I'm at least learning a bit, to not always put my picture on my thumbnail, because it's just, hello racism. If somebody sees me and they see me talking about something that I am not the face of the audience, they'll click on somebody else real quick. It happens all the time here. So I try to do a gotcha. I'm also putting a white woman up on my thumbnails and see what happens. But yeah, or maybe lighten my skin a bit on my thumbnails. We'll see. Do a little social experiment. But I just don't think that you guys will watch that. Prochian said, damn, Harry and Meghan are here ending hosts and shows. Are they our new American royalty? Absolutely. The people's prince and the people's princess. Oh yeah, Miss Brown Sugar, the whole show is on hiatus. It's either going to be canceled because they're not doing great numbers, or Sharon is going to get fired. Some people, I decided not to do the Bling Empire because, again, I just did not think that that's something that, because guys, I love doing this, but this is also work. I don't want to be putting up stuff that you guys aren't going to watch. And I just, from the reactions that I got from Bling Empire, I just don't think that you guys are going to respond to that. And I want to put up stuff that you respond to. To be honest with you, Atlanta might be on its way out because you guys aren't really responding to that. And it's not your fault. Some of you guys just like certain shows that I do. But I really I'm going to be putting a lot more into Married at First Sight because you guys really like Married at First Sight. I'm also going to be doing more conversational videos because you guys really respond to that. Like, you like when I talk about, basically hot topics that are going on. So I'm going to do more of those. I'm definitely going to be a staple with The Bachelor because you respond very positively to that. And 90 Day Fiance. Y'all really respond to that. So I just don't want to get on here and do something that, my audience is not going to respond to. I could be doing something else. Like trying to lose this fupa. Romaine, thank you so much for the super chat. Romaine said, don't watch this, but I've missed so many of your lives and you have been killing it with all these reviews. Love you from Finland. Love you too. Romaine, what do you watch? Let your girl know. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, Cameron, I think it's over for Sharon. Because, if you cancel the show, it's so many people who are going to lose their job. So it's just like, are we going to cancel the show and everybody here loses their job? Like, we lose 400 jobs, or get rid of one who was costing us a lot of money anyway. Oh my God. Wendy Sims said, this panorama got me losing it all. Chop my hair off and I'm about to dye it red. Are you my mother? My mom did that during the pandemic. She chopped all her hair off. I'm helping her with her natural hair journey. She chopped all her hair off, went natural, and dyed it purple. She just dyed it back today. Well, Cameron, I don't think that Eva was trying to get back on the show. But again, you could be right. I'm not going to take that from you. I think that when the wedding happened, that was just the blogs had just released that. Remember when it came out, everybody was talking about it for a very long time. So I just think that that was probably the talk of the wedding. Oh yeah, after the final rose is going to be good. Oh yeah, love after lockup. Y'all love my love after lockup. So I'm definitely going to stay invested in that. Oh, Prochian, thank you. Prochian said, have you looked into collabs with other creators? I feel like your channel should be bigger than it is. Thank you, my love. Me too. Yes, I'm definitely going to do collabs with other channels. However, there was a lot set up before that, but the pandemic just killed all of that. So I won't be doing any collabs for a while until, I feel like it's safe. Tracy said, Nikki just dragged Chris from Married at First Sight. I hate to do it, but he never ceases to not give me a reason to drag him. He's just always awful. Every episode, he's always awful. Simply Timon says she's going to get fired. The talk shuffles through hosts like Destiny's Child in the 90s. She's going to end up just like Pierce. Yeah, JB says, what I saw all that tea on Jen from Salt Lake City. It's unfortunate. She's going to come back though, but she has a problem. Oh my God. SCP, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like, it's so crazy to me that people think that only a certain demographic watches a certain show. It's not true, because right now a lot of the shows are only going off of Nielsen ratings, right? And that's mainly TV. The streaming services and stuff like that, you can't really control that yet. There's not really a way to call it, but a lot of these housewife shows have very young, diverse, and huge LGBTQ audiences, but they don't really see that. They cater a lot to, our mothers and people by race, right? So the Real Housewives of Orange County, they won't listen to a Nikki, but they will listen to, somebody who's like within Vicky's demographic or Tamara's demographic, which is why that show looks the way it looks, because it's never being updated, because Bravo is not listening to the ones who are the future of their show. And when I say future of their show, I'm saying that a lot of us watch TV on streaming services, or we're watching like an episode playback on our phone. So we are a huge demographic that is being widely overlooked, which is why a lot of shows are taking off. And people are like, how is this show taking off? Because there's a huge streaming service demographic that only Netflix is really invested in. Everybody's trying to get in the game now, but there's going to take a lot for these people to catch up to Netflix, because Netflix saw what YouTube was doing and they perfected it. Yeah, I love my love with the lockup. We got a super chat. We got a super chat from Masanje. Hey, baby. Masanje said, hey, Nikki, always catching a lie, totally off subject, but have you discussed your thoughts on Cardi and Meg's performance? Thank you so much for the super chat, beloved. No, I have not. I don't have any comments on their performance. I just have comments on the Grammys overall. Please wear your mask. We have to get back to where people are in the audience to being able to respond, because I think what for me, with that performance miss, audience reaction. Audience reaction. That's what it missed. All of the award shows are doing it. The Oscars, which I love, and I cannot wait to watch it, but I know I'm going to be disappointed because there won't be an audience. It like the Grammys could have been great, but I get that they're doing the best that they can with a really bad situation. But we need an audience. We need performers need an audience. We really, really do. It just doesn't work without it. But I was very proud of the both of them for what they were able to do, especially Meg. I'm so happy for her. I'm just so happy for Meg the Stallion because she's had a really rough couple of years. Like 1 year she lost her whole family, her whole immediate family. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for her. I'm always rooting for her. Shantina, thank you for the super chat. So Shantina said, I don't watch any of these shows. I'm just here for the Nikki Star experience. Thank you so much. Love you too. Thank you, Shantina. Who was surprised? Miss Brown Sugar said, who was surprised that Jen stays berating her staff? Those temper tantrums were on over. The comment jumped. I'm sorry. I was reading and I don't know what happened. Cameron Knight said they should replace Sharon with Holly Robinson Pete. Baby, that would be a kick in the face. They couldn't afford her at this point because how they fired her, they would have to, if I was Holly Robinson Pete, if y'all wanted me, y'all would have to pay me triple. Because how y'all did me was dirty. If y'all want me back, you have to show me by coins that you are sorry and that you are going to make a change. Oh, Mon Matheson said, hey, Nikki, I'm a big fan. My 3-year-old is so used to you being on TV. He sings Come On in the room. Just wanted to mention Discovery Plus is offering a free 7-day trial. I would definitely recommend it. You know what? Thank you, Mon. Thank you so much, Mon. I was actually thinking about it. Here is why. I've watched every show on Discovery on the ID channel. Like there's nothing left for me to watch. And I keep on seeing that commercial about the new shows, the new true crime shows. And I'm just like, I might have to get it because I'm suffering over here. I've watched every show on Oxygen. I've watched every show on the ID channel. And I've watched every Forensic Files episode. I need something new. I've watched all of Lieutenant Joe Kinder's shows. I've watched Swamp Murders and the Swamp Murder episode I ain't see. I've watched the Nightmare Neighbor show, everything, Murder City. I've watched them all. There's nothing left. And I'm like, I might just have to check that app out. Because I'm fiending. I'm fiending for some true crime. Yes, thank you, Shonda, for posting my Instagram. Simone, really? Simply Simone said, breaking news. Come on, breaking news. The Basketball Wives reunion was canceled. The show is on its way out. I think this is the last season. I think Shoni is moving the show to Houston. I think we're going to get a Basketball Wives Houston. And I don't know if we should. I think it just needs to be done. I think Shoni, from how she acted from how she has taken on this whole colorism thing, if I was her, I would fall back and be a silent investor. I would be a silent EP on shows. I would take, her and Shaq do business a lot together. If I was her, I would invest my money in different shows, but not put my name on it because the way she performed the last 2 seasons on this show, not a good look. Yeah, Miss Brown Sugar, this was one of the better shows. I feel like, the Grammys just needs an audience. It really, really does. Because seeing Beyonce accept an award that looked like they were outside of a Chipotle. Not my Beyonce. I don't know. I just need the grandiose side. I need the audience. Yeah, we gotta get back to that. But I think they did the best for what they could. Oh yeah, this was the Grammys was Meg's night. It was Meg's night. And I honestly feel like, listen, Beyonce, in my opinion, deserves more Grammys than 28. But I honestly feel like they did all of that for her because she's a big name. You know what I mean? And They have invited her and Jay-Z to the Grammys a few times, and they have come and they have been nominated in a lot of categories, and they sit them in the front to bring viewership and then do not award them with anything. That's why we got that whole little message. I'm telling you, everybody, this is the thing, right? That really bothers me. All of these companies, all of these award shows are coming out and saying, we realize we have a racism problem. We're going to fix it. Please give us time and work with us as we work with you to bring diversity to our show or our company or whatever. And I'm just like, no, F you. Because you have benefited off of racism. You have created a system where there are people who have been awarded things not because of their talent, but because of the color of their skin. And the reason, and you come out here with this little BS apology and telling us that you're changing things and that you're apologizing to work with you. No, I don't want to work with you. I want to dismantle this system, because a system that is built on white supremacy cannot be fixed. It has to be dismantled. And if you're not dismantling that, you're just adding in a colored person. It's not going to work. Hello, Bachelor. It's not going to work. So miss me with the apology, dismantle the system and rebuild something even better. But miss me with that. Oh, and you're going to send a black guy to do it. Oh, we realize we don't have diversity. The same thing with the Golden Globes. No black press, and they just realized that in 2021, you are awarding awards to people, which these awards change the trajectory of their career, which this means more money and opportunities for them. And you just realized in 2021, after this award show has been, airing on TV for over 50 years, you just realized in 2021 that you don't have black press at this award show, and the only people who are voting are white people. You just realized that in 2021. Now you want to issue a statement. Dismantle it. If you're so creative, we can build something better. But I don't want you fixing this system that was built on white supremacy. I don't want you fixing it. It has to be dismantled, because the core that it was started on was already disenfranchising people who were not white. Now, keep your apology, fix the system. Miss Brown Sugar said, okay, Nikki, you and I are on the same page on that. When even Adele and Billie Eilish know they're winning, right? And they say it publicly, but the Academy still can't do it. That's the same thing. I'm not getting on Billie. She's a kid. I'm not getting on her. But I'm so sick of that. Artists saying, I thought this should have been for you. That whole remember Macklemore wrote this whole thing to Kendrick, and it's just like, I honestly get that that you're winning. Eminem used to do that too. I honestly get that that you're winning because you're white, right? You're talented, but that there is a person of color who had a much better year than you, much better streams, much better, just a much better year overall. I honestly get that you recognize that and you feel bad, right? But what are you doing? You're not handing the award over. You're not going on TV. You're not pulling a Marlon Brando and saying, I'm not accepting this because y'all racist. You're not doing that. Y'all, these new artists are built different. Back in the day, the actors would be actors. Let me tell you something. They would tear them Oscars up and be like, no, this is wrong. This is racist. I'm good. Let's fix this system. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the whole, this should have been for you. I honestly get it. I see what you're trying to do. It's not enough activism for me. You got to do better. You have to go up there and be like, I got this because I'm white. This Academy I get that I'm talented, but if we're going to go by streams, if we're going to go by popularity, if we're going to go by money, this woman did way better than me. And the only reason why you picked me is because this system is racist. I won't accept this. This belongs to Megan Thee Stallion. Thank you so very much for my team. We worked hard, but we got to do better because we did not really beat her. Thank you so much. Leave the award there. Set it ablaze. Burn it down so we can build something better. Some people say, why is it so much work to not be racist? Because racism is big business. Racism makes a lot of people money. People are just now starting to lose money and opportunities because of it, but they bounce back. Racism racism has created the 1%. I'm telling you guys, everything, especially in the United States of America, everything goes back to race. America wasn't America before slavery. America wasn't bringing in this money. America was not able to compete until slavery. You think they're going to let that go? Why? How do we get here? How do we get here? This is Real Housewives of Atlanta. Child. Yep, Simply Simone, when they snubbed Jay-Z, they set Jay-Z and his child and his wife in the front of the Grammys, nominated him for 8 awards. He won none. They didn't come back. They didn't come back. And now the one time they come back late. They don't perform, and Beyonce cleans up as she should. You gotta respect these people. You have to respect these people, because let's be real, y'all not paying them, but y'all making money off of them. That's why you set Beyonce and Jay-Z and Blue Ivy in the front, because you knew there wasn't nobody tuning in until you said their names. They're not getting any money off of these award shows, but these award shows are getting a lot of money off of them. So give them an award to show up. Because let's be real here. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. These award shows are not based off of talent. It's based off of popularity. It's based off of whose agent is working the hardest. It's based off of whose agency is more popular. It's based off of who got the most payola. It's based off of who got the best relationships. It is not based off of talent. It's a new day. Sorry, it's probably my dad. So it's like, if we're going to play that game, you want Beyonce and Jay-Z to show up, huge superstars, billionaires. You want them to show up to your show, and you're not paying them anything. You better pay them in awards, because that's a system you created. Pay them their money. Anyway, let me get off of here, because I gotta go do 90 Day Fiance. Me too, sup people. Me too. The Bombshell said Megan didn't deserve Record of the Year. Billy just loves her. And Billy did. We're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it. In my opinion, Beyonce deserved Record of the Year. I think her whole album was just, but it is what it is. They need to never come back. I'm tired of the Grammy board. But I liked Megan's album. But again, I'm an actor, so my opinion is. Yeah, SZA. The fact that SZA doesn't have any Grammys, the way that album took over the world, the way that album changed music after, the way people started singing like her, people changed their whole way of singing, modeled it after SZA, and got Grammys, and she didn't. What? Get out of here. Yeah, BET is owned by Viacom. Like, I will say, the executives and everything at BET is Black, but at the end of the day, they can't do nothing over without Viacom approving it. Oh, the internet's taking over for sure. That's all. I'm telling you, it's a whole demographic of people that they are ignoring. But it's fine, because what this will do is put people who don't have generational wealth, put people who are like me, doing grassroots building here at YouTube, put them in positions of powers, put them in position of power that they cannot fight anymore. They either have to work with, or they will become obsolete. Period. Come on, new media. Yeah, congrats to my baby Blue Ivy. Simply Simone said half the performances were TikTok songs. New media. It's the power of new media. But these networks are ignoring that, because they're ran on an old system by very old people. I want to be very clear with you guys. The people who are running basically every major TV network, 60 plus. And the 60 is young. I think who right now, he just got, was it Warner Brothers? I think Warner Brothers just now, like 2 years ago, replaced their head executive who was 95 years old. He's greenlighting shows at 95. Ma'am, you're as old as segregation. Why in the hell are you making decisions about TV today? New media, I'm telling you, TV and film better get with it or they will be replaced. Yep. The Bombshell said Beyonce has 28 Grammys, but they never gave her album of the year. 13 have gone to all white artists. I think we just have to be really honest about that and how these award shows are built. Yep. Your new media is coming. That's the thing. Like you guys are the change. You all are the change because you're tuning in. You are making the votes, right? You are telling the world and the people who make the media decisions, old media decisions, what you like, what you want to see. There's nobody that can manipulate that. They can't manipulate your likes. They can't manipulate your views. New media is the future. It really, really is. And it's because of you guys. You guys are really making a change. Be the changes you want to see in the world, and you guys are it. Let me get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you watch 90 Day Fiance, I'm about to hop off here and hop onto my 90 Day Fiance live. I totally appreciate you guys taking your time out of your day to tune into your girl. It means a lot to me, and it's honestly changing my life. And I appreciate all of your support. And I will see you soon for something else, probably sooner than later. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah. Slavery is always somewhere in this conversation. My God, I love y'all. Bye.